Very good morning to the students of class 9, and in fact the last class we had discussed about about the chapter the atoms and molecules. Now there I told you all that I gave you the mole concept and what is molecular mass and what is formula unit. In the last class I told you all that I will be discussing about the numerical problems related to the mole concept or how to find out. I also talked about Avogadro's number and how to find out the molar mass. However, I felt that as the school will reopen, if we have a direct interaction, then you can have a better concept about solving the numerical problems. So I am keeping the numerical problems for the school to open, and then I will explain to you all about the ways of finding out the numerical problems means are based on the molar mass, right? So and the Avogadro's number. Till that time you all have a good concept about the things which are being explained to you all, and then you will be having a better concept regarding the numerical problems on molecular mass. So today we are going to start a new chapter, structure of atom. In fact, till now you all are all acquainted with the fact that the atoms and molecules are the fundamental units of any substances, right? So it makes up, it is the fundamental unit for the matter, for in fact building blocks of matter. And as you know that this existence of different matter is due to the different atoms that exist in the different substances, so different elements. And now, according to the Dalton's atomic theory, which you have studied in your previous chapter, what does it tell? That this Dalton's atomic theory actually tells that that atoms are indivisible and it cannot be created nor destroyed. So, if the atoms, now the question arises that, as proposed by Dalton, is it that if the atoms are really indivisible, or they are smaller constituents made of atoms? Now, as you know that atoms are indivisible part, and because why it is indivisible part? Because it is so small that you cannot even see a particular atom with your naked eyes. So that is why they are indivisible, and they have their existence of its own. The molecules, that means the atoms, different atoms, they combine together to form molecules, and that is why in fact you are combining the different atoms into different molecules or different substance or different compounds, right? And also the thing is that what makes the atom of one element different from the atom of another element? Now, if you talk about, suppose, hydrogen, you know that the hydrogen molecule is diatomic. So the hydrogen, what will happen? Two atoms of hydrogen will combine together to form a molecule of hydrogen. Now, in case of oxygen, you see that O2, that means that is also a diatomic molecule, and then what that means two atoms of oxygen will form a molecule of what? Oxygen. Now here now O3 is a different form of oxygen, that is ozone. So that means three atoms of oxygen will combine together to form a molecule of ozone. So, and you know about I hope you know about ozone layer depletion, because by this time you all must have heard about ozone layer depletion, that is above the atmosphere. There is a layer of ozone which prevents the ultraviolet rays to reach our surface, because those ultraviolet which is being given by the sun, actually what happens if it reach the earth's surface, then it is not good for the people, because that depletion means the decrease of the ozone layer will let down, cause a disturbance in the earth's surface to the people, mainly those people who are fair skinned. If they are attacked by the ultraviolet rays, then what happens? They are more prone to skin cancer, right? So that is why you are being advised to put a sunscreen lotion, so that those ultraviolet, and you in fact you can observe for yourself. So when you are out in the sun without any care, so what happens? You get sunburn, then you get different types of problems, then you get pickles, prickly heat, you are being attacked, and sunstroke is there. So however, I have moved out from my topic, and this ozone, what happens here, of three atoms of oxygen combine together to form a molecule of ozone. So that means they have their that means the atoms of the different atoms they make the atom of one element, in fact is different from the atom of another element. Now we have learned about we also have learned about the subatomic particles, actually when we are talking about the atom, we know that inside the nucleus there is a nucleus, right? There is a nucleus where the neutrons and the protons are there, and around the nucleus. Now when you have found out the in fact the valency, so and you are writing the formula of the compounds, that means you are in fact you are crisscrossing that valency of the different elements, and then you write the valency. So what happens, as you are like the atomic weight, when you are distributing it in different shells, that is, these are the cells which are around the nucleus, where inside the nucleus the neutrons and the protons there remains, and it is the electrons which actually move around the orbits, right? So these neutrons are these are the subatomic particles: neutrons, protons and electrons, right? And please remember that an atom as a whole is neutral. Why neutral? Because the electrons are negatively charged, protons are positively charged, and the neutrons have no charge at all. So when they move around, then the electrons, they move around. So and the protons and the neutrons remains inside the cell. So that is why, you must have noticed that in fact there is no transfer of the positive charge, right? So for an atom. So what happens here is that the electrons only are being they move out from the cell. So that is why sometimes the atoms becomes ions when there are losing of electrons or gaining of electrons. So when there is a gaining of electrons, what happens, since electrons are what, they are negatively charged. So when you are getting when any atom is gaining electrons, it will become negatively charged because they are gaining negative charge. And when electrons are being moved out from the atoms, then the ion become positively charged because there is a deduction of the negative charge. So that's what, as we will move on, we will be having elaborate discussion about the structure of atom, and it is a very interesting chapter. And in fact, if In fact, you will know lots of things about the atoms, because when you are talking about chemistry, atoms, in fact, atoms are always being talked about. So it is an important part of chemistry. And then this matter, in fact, there are surge particles in matter, and like suppose what happens, how you will know that there are surge particles in matter. In fact, if you oil your hair, that what happens, and then rub rub a scale, then what happens, and you put it over the scale, you put the scale over small bits of paper, then what happens, you will find that the bits of paper will get attracted to the piece of scale. In fact, even if you comb your hair and then put it over the bits of scale, bits of paper, then the paper will get attracted, and this is the electrostatic force, and this actually is the in fact the surge particles in matter. So today I'll end here, and in fact we will have lots of further elaborate discussion. Until that time, please go through the video properly so that you can have a better concept. Thank you so much.